I'm going now to a 5-minute round. Mr. Kibble, over to you.
Thank you, Mr. Chair, and thank you to all of our witnesses for their opening statements. Ms. Mikachuk, I appreciate your comment that Canada's strategic vulnerability is our processing capability. What steps should we be putting in place to make processing more feasible, specifically in human resources and building a skilled workforce?
Thank you for the question. Certainly, I think historically Canada had a lot of that midstream capability. Many of the major operators had a lot of that processing, optimization, piloting. For example, Sheridan Park, Vale, now Vale Base Metals, used to have over 60 personnel looking at different process optimization and training the next round of metallurgists and process engineers. We've lost a lot of that capacity. Another Canadian example, Sherritt Technologies, has recently closed their operations with over 60 experts in process design and metallurgy also being let go. So now is not the time to be closing these facilities. We should be very quickly establishing regional centers of expertise, much like Mr. Boyd said, building on operations that already exist where we can leverage some of that capacity.
Thank you. I just want to quickly ask about waste and tailings. There's a historic waste site on Vancouver Island in my riding with copper and possibly cobalt. Is that something that you said efficient recovery? Can that be extracted and then left in a clean state when that process is over?
Absolutely. This is a huge opportunity for Canada with a very large inventory of legacy sites. Consider that these are mineral resources already sitting at the surface. We do have that process knowledge to be able to rapidly develop process flow sheets for these materials. They're near term. We could develop a lot of these tailing sites within 5 years as opposed to a 15, 20-year timeline still for new mines. So we should be looking to leverage that process knowledge within Canadian institutions to be able to extract those reserves in the near term.
Thank you very much, Mr. Boyd. I just wanted to speak on timelines for project approvals. We heard of a Yellowknife project the other day that was taking 14 years to get approvals. We have oil and gas offshore prohibitions and large protected areas, many under the 30-30 plan. What steps do you see could be taken by the government to speed up approvals process in this area that's so critical to our national defense?
Yeah, I think that the challenge that we faced as an industry is the overlap of approvals that are required and the sequential movement of the files through the various regulatory approval bodies. So our approach would see the files go in and be reviewed simultaneously by many departments. So I think that would help. I think we've seen moves in that direction going forward. I think that what was happening where the federal overlay came in at operations over 5,000 tons a day or proposed operations over 5,000 tons a day, that created a duplication. So essentially we need to eliminate that duplication. Not only does it take time, it costs money and uses up resources. So I would start there.
You said in your testimony that it was important we know who are the foreign companies that are operating in Canada. And I see that your Mining Watch Canada is a lobby group founded in 1999. Are you still a registered lobby group?
We're not.
You're not a registered lobby group anymore. Interesting. And with regard to foreign companies operating in Canada, who's your largest donor for your organization?
Good question. I would have to look at it. I can submit the information.
I can share with you that it's the United States-based anti-development, anti-commercial agricultural group, the 11th Hour Project, which is funded by the Schmidt family group. So that's outside American influence that's paying for some of the words today. You were advocating closing the door on seabed mining. Does that include oil and gas?
We're talking about the minerals.
Minerals, not so you're open to oil and gas, but you're advocating we don't do mineral seabed
That's
mining.
not what I said. The topic of today's hearing is about the hard rock mining, I believe, because we're talking about criticals, but we're definitely not supporting oil and gas activities overseas. on the
But
deep.
seabed mining in Canada, are you
Sea-
advocating for or against oil and gas mining in Canada?
Comme je l'ai dit, nous nous concentrons sur les
I said we are concentrating on mining operations and hard rock mining, and we are opposed to seabed mining. But of course, we want to protect anything that protects the climate.
Quickly then, you also mentioned no use of nuclear power for defense-related projects. How would you contend that we power our, especially in the north, defense-related projects up through carbon-based fuel or through windmills?
Merci. Notre organisation depuis 20
Our organization has, for 27 years, had only been very firmly opposed to uranium mining, considering all of the dangers that it entails for local populations when it comes to waste, residues, and also the risks of
Mr.
banning for defense projects.
Mr. Kibble, we're done.